Hello my dear students, welcome back to Dramatic Science. This is the first lecture of the topic kinematics, that is one-dimensional motion. In this lecture we will discuss about 1D motion. So let us see what will be our main topics of discussion today. So we have these 5 topics for today's discussion. Number 1 is basic concept related to kinematics and mechanics. Next one is kinds of motion, basically one-dimensional motion. Third one is distance, displacement, speed, velocity. Fifth one is acceleration and retardation, right? I think you have heard this terminologies in your previous classes, but whatever, we will start from scratch, right? So let us start from our basic concept of motion. So guys, here we have our first basic concept. Here we have classified mechanics, and this terminology is for my dear Bengali medium student, right? So kindly note it down in this topic in your CW copy. So basically, what is mechanics? Mechanics is an important branch of physics which deals with the motion or rest position of a body due to the application of force. Motion or rest position of a body due to the application of force, right? It has two divisions, as you can see, dynamics and statics. Dynamics basically deals with the movement of the body, and statics deals with the equilibrium state of a body, right? Dynamics has two divisions, kinematics and kinetics. Kinematics deals with the expressions, equations, terms related to motion of a body, and kinetics deals with the cause. सपोज एक पॉइंट ए से बी पॉइंट तक एक बॉडी ने ट्रैवल किया, तो उसका जो वो ट्रैवलिंग है, उस ट्रैवलिंग के हिसाब से उसका मतलब क्या इक्वेशंस होगा, क्या मैथमेटिकल फॉर्मूलेशन होगा, दैट विल बी इन द डिस्कशन ऑफ काइनेमेटिक्स. लेकिन काइनेटिक्स क्या करेगा? काइनेटिक डील विद द कॉज, कि बॉडी ने ट्रैवल क्यों किया, उसके पीछे ना कॉज क्या है, राइट? In our syllabus, we will deal about those expressions and equations, that is kinematics. So this one is first basic concept. So now we have concept number 2, definition of body and particle. What is a body? A substance having specific shape and volume in space is called body. That means if we consider this pen, it has a certain shape and certain volume. So this is a body. Simple. Particle, a body having mass but no volume is known as particle. Like this. If we put a point over here, this point has no volume, but if this point has simple amount of mass, then this point will be considered as particle, right? So two basic simple definitions. Kindly note it down this in your copy. So now we have basic concept number 3, the definition of rest and motion. If a body does not change its position in a course of time, that state of the body is called rest, and the body is called rest body. Very simple. A body will not change its position and the time will pass. That is the rest position, and the body will be called rest body. Motion. If the position of a body changes after a certain time, that state of the body is called motion, and the body is called moving body. So a body will move from one place to another after a certain time. So that movement, that state will be called motion, and the body will be called as moving body. Very simple, right? So this one is basic number 3. Next we will enter into basic number 4. So here we have the concept number 4. Before describing this, I would like to give you some interesting one. Suppose we consider this body and we say this body is initially at rest from its birth. Then the rest position of this body will be called absolute rest, right? And the motion of other body with respect to this body will be called absolute motion. So this body is at absolute rest and the moving body is at absolute motion. Now think in a broader way. Do you think this body is absolutely at rest practically? No. Why? This body is on earth and the earth is rotating along its own axis and also it is revolving around the sun. So basically this body is absolutely not at rest from its birth. That's why there is no concept of absolute rest. Okay, and thus there is no concept of absolute motion, right? The rest or the motion we measure in our real world, those are called relative motion and relative rest. Fine. Basically there is no concept of absolute rest and absolute motion. All the motion that we measure is absolutely called relative and basically relative motion and relative rest position. Fine. And one thing is that to measure the relative rest or motion of a body, we need another body. To measure the position or something of this body, we need another point or another body. That concept gives like this one: reference body and reference frame. To describe the rest or motion state of a body, we measure it with respect to, this one is called with respect to another body. This second body is called reference body. And the coordinate system associated with a reference body is called reference frame. That means, suppose, consider you are traveling through a bus, right, in this direction, and there is a passenger or you can say a person standing on the bus stop, right? Just think in a simple way, focus. You are moving on the forward direction and you will see that the passenger or the person on the bus stop will move in the backward direction. तुम जब सामने जाओगे तो क्या लगेगा कि वो जो पर्सन है बस स्टॉप में वो बैकवर्ड में जा रहा है. कंसेप्ट नंबर 1. सेकेंड, व्हाट द पर्सन सी, जो पर्सन सिंपली बस स्टॉप में है वो क्या देखेगा? ही विल सी दैट यू आर मूविंग ऑन अ बस बट ही इज एट रेस्ट. डिफरेंस को समझो. सो बेसिकली मोशन चेंजेस विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू वन अनदर. इफ you measure the motion of that person with respect to you, then you will be treated as reference body, right? And the coordinate system, the position associated with yourself will be called reference frame. Got it? So this one is the concept of reference body and reference frame. Next, we will move towards kind of reference frame. So basically reference frame has two categories. One is called Cartesian and second one is called polar. At the case of Cartesian, you can see we have three axes basically in 3D, x, y, z, and the point P is represented as x, y, z, and O is called origin, right? At the case of polar coordinate, a point P is represented by r and theta. What is r? R is the distance of that point from pole or center and theta is the angle with respect to x-axis. So this two coordinate system or reference frame is important in physics, but in our present criteria we will focus basically on Cartesian coordinate system and later we will study about polar also, but for initial stage we will focus on Cartesian. Okay. So now we need to learn few formula related to differentiation and integration. Basically you will learn this formula in your mathematics notation. But here only I have just given the formula and basic concept. Differentiation and integration. So y equals to c, that is constant, then that differentiation of y with respect to x, that is dy dx, will be 0. Y equals to x to the power n. differentiation of y with respect to x, this one will be this formula. You have to just remember this formula to calculate or do some numericals in kinematics in motion. Okay, y equal to u into v, so dy dx will be u into dv dx plus v into du dx. Y equal to sine mx, m is any constant like 2, 3, 5, pi, etc. So dy dx will be m and sine will be converted into cos mx. से नेक्स्ट y इक्वल टू cos mx, मतलब m बाहर आएगा, ये जो कांस्टेंट है कांस्टेंट बाहर आता है, देखो m बाहर आ गया, m बाहर, इसमें m है, m बाहर आ गया, एंड cos इज कन्वर्टेड इनटू माइनस साइन, सो माइनस साइन mx. सो ये जो 1 to 5 दिस आर द बेसिक फार्मूलाज ऑफ डिफरेंशिएशन. काफ़ी सारा फार्मूला है, दिस वन जस्ट फ्यू ऑफ देम. ये जो 5, 7 वाला है, दिस वन इज फॉर इंटीग्रेशन. y इक्वल टू x टू द पावर n, इसका इंटीग्रेशन क्या होगा, इंटीग्रेशन का साइन है दिस वन लाइक दिस. सो y dx, y की जगह x टू द पावर n पुट कर दिया. इसका फॉर्मूला क्या है, x टू द पावर n प्लस 1 बाई n प्लस 1 प्लस c. c इज कॉल्ड इंटीग्रेशन कॉन्स्टेंट. y इक्वल टू e टू द पावर mx, e इज कॉल्ड एक्सपोनेंशियल. इसका फॉर्मूला क्या होगा, देखो e टू दी पावर mx बाई ये जो m कांस्टेंट है डिवाइड हो गया प्लस c. डिफरेंशिएशन में कांस्टेंट बाहर आता है और इंटीग्रेशन में कांस्टेंट डिवाइड होता है, एंड हेयर c इज आल्सो इंटीग्रेशन कांस्टेंट. ये जस्ट मतलब थोड़ा बहुत फार्मूला है, जो फार्मूला न्यूमेरिकल्स में मतलब जैसा नेसेसरी होगा वो हम लोग उसका फार्मूला लिख देंगे. राइट, काइंडली अपने कॉपी में नोट डाउन कर लो, क्योंकि ये बेसिक्स का लास्ट टॉपिक था. Next we will move towards kinds of motion. So here we have the classification of motion. Basically motion is classified into 3 segments: translational motion, rotational motion and mixed motion. At the case of translational motion, a body will move along a straight line. At the case of rotational motion, it will rotate. And at the case of mixed motion, both translational and rotational will occur at the same time, that is mixed motion. So example, free falling body, a body falling from a certain height, motion of lift, merry-go-round, motion of a fan, here revolution of earth with respect to sun, moving wheel of car. So this one is simply a basic concept, right? Next we will go to our next topic, that is distance and displacement. So here we have the concept of distance and displacement. Suppose we consider A as initial point and B as a final point. A particle can travel in these 3 ways. मतलब ये तीनों roads है, इस रोड से पार्टिकल ए पॉइंट से बी पॉइंट तक ट्रैवल कर सकता है. राइट, सो ए सी बी, ए डी बी, ए ई बी आर द मोशन, आर द path or trajectory of the particle, and from this 3 trajectory the straight line distance between initial and final point is called displacement, and all other measured values are called distance. That means ADB is a straight line from initial to final point, that's why this is displacement, and all other trajectory, that is ACB, AEB are called distance. Very simple. तो इसका यूनिट क्या होगा, ये तो सिंपली लेंथ है. स्ट्रेट लाइन में लेंथ, ये थोड़ा सा कार्व्ड लाइन में लेंथ, दैट्स वाई एसआई में मीटर, सीजीएस में सेंटीमीटर, एफपीएस में क्या होगा, फुट. एंड उसका डायमेंशन क्या होगा, डायमेंशनल फॉर्मूला, ये सिंपली लेंथ है तो डेफिनेटली लेंथ का डायमेंशन होगा, दैट इज थर्ड ब्रैकेट में कैपिटल एल. एंड वन थिंग टू नोट कि डिस्टेंस इज स्केलर क्वांटिटी, दिस टू, बिकॉज इन दोनों का कोई फिक्स्ड डायरेक्शन नहीं है, दैट्स वाई स्केलर क्वांटिटी ओनली वैल्यूज है. लेकिन डिस्प्लेसमेंट देखो क्या है, ए से बी पॉइंट तक स्ट्रेट लाइन डिस्टेंस है, स्ट्रेट लाइन नो, एक फिक्स डायरेक्शन है, दैट्स वाई डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज कॉल्ड वेक्टर क्वांटिटी. राइट, तो ये सिंपल कंसेप्ट अबाउट डिस्टेंस एंड डिस्प्लेसमेंट. Next we will move towards the concept of speed and velocity. So now we have the concept of speed and velocity. Speed is basically distance by time. Speed is symbolized by v, and we have considered distance as s and time as t. So speed is distance by time and velocity is displacement by time. Displacement is a vector quantity, that's why s vector, and that's why velocity will also be vector, v vector, right? तो यूनिट सिंपली क्या होगा, डिस्टेंस बाई टाइम हुआ, इसलिए नीचे एक टाइम आ गया, दैट्स वाई मीटर पर सेकेंड, सेंटीमीटर पर सेकेंड, फुट पर सेकेंड, और मीटर सेकेंड माइनस वन, सेकेंड माइनस वन, सेकेंड माइनस वन, राइट। अच्छा, डायमेंशनल फॉर्मूला क्या होगा, सिंपली नीचे टाइम आ गया, टाइम का डायमेंशन क्या है, कैपिटल टी, तो डेफिनेटली एल बाई कैपिटल टी आएगा, टी को ऊपर भेज देंगे तो एल टी माइनस वन, वेरी सिंपल। और नीचे देखो क्या लिखा है, स्पीड इज अ स्केलर क्वांटिटी बिकॉज इट डील्स विद डिस्टेंस, एंड वेलोसिटी इज ऑब्वियसली अ वेक्टर क्वांटिटी बिकॉज इट डील्स विद डिस्प्लेसमेंट, राइट। तो सिंपली एक बेसिक कंसेप्ट था। नेक्स्ट वी विल लर्न अबाउट एक्सीलरेशन एंड रिटार्डेशन, दैट इज आवर लास्ट टॉपिक. So here we have the concept of acceleration and retardation, right? Acceleration is a, that is velocity increased by time, and retardation is velocity decreased by time. We symbolize acceleration as a, then retardation will be minus a, right? Because here velocity is increasing and here velocity is decreasing. And what will be the units? See, velocity by time, that means extra time आ गया, इसलिए मीटर सेकंड माइनस टू, सेंटीमीटर सेकंड माइनस टू, fps में फुट सेकंड माइनस टू, और डायमेंशन भी सिमिलरली चेंज हो जाएगा क्योंकि नीचे एक एक्स्ट्रा टाइम आ गया। वेलोसिटी का क्या था, एल टी माइनस वन, फिर नीचे और एक टाइम और एक टी आ गया, दैट मीन्स एल टी माइनस टू. And one interesting thing is that acceleration and retardation both deals with velocity, that's why they both are simply vector quantities, right? तो आप देखेंगे एक्सीलरेशन और रिटार्डेशन का मेन एक्सप्रेशन क्या होता है. So we have considered initial velocity as u and final velocity of a particle as v, and required time for its motion is small t. If final velocity, that means v is greater than initial velocity, this one, then we get acceleration, simply v minus u by t. And if v is less than initial velocity, that means final velocity is less than initial, this one, we get retardation as a dash will be u minus v by t. And here we can see a and a dash are related like this way, okay? So this one, these two basically are the expression of acceleration and retardation. So guys, आप लोगों के ये चारों क्वेश्चन होमवर्क है. ये दो मैंने ट्रैजेक्टोरी ड्रॉ किया है, मतलब एक पॉइंट ए से एक पार्टिकल ने बी तक जर्नी किया. ये सिंपली एक हाफ सर्कल की तरह है. इसका रेडियस ओ है सेंटर, रेडियस क्या है 2 मीटर. और इधर मतलब और एक पार्टिकल ने ए पॉइंट से स्टार्ट करके पूरा एक सर्कल कवर करके फिर से ए पॉइंट में लौट आया, दैट मीन्स उसका टोटल एक सर्क्यूलर पाथ ट्रैवल हुआ, उसका रेडियस क्या है 3 मीटर. तो ये दोनों केस में आपको ये चारों कैलकुलेशन मुझे करके भेजना है. आई विल गिव माई डिटेल्स इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन. सो कवर डिस्टेंस, कितना डिस्टेंस कवर किया, डिस्प्लेसमेंट कितना हुआ दोनों केस में, स्पीड इन 5 सेकेंड दोनों केस में, वेलोसिटी इन 2 सेकेंड दोनों केस में, राइट? तो ये मुझे करके फटाफट से मैसेज करो, ओके? सो बस आज का सेशन ख़त्म. I hope you have understand all these 5 basic topics, and in lecture 2 we will go deep about kinematics, because this one is really important chapter of entire physics world basically, and class 11 also. तो बस चलते हैं आज के लिए, मिलेंगे अगले वीडियो में. तब तक if it helps give the thumbs up, do comment, subscribe, and definitely we will meet soon. तब तक टाटा, नमस्कार, बाय बाय.